Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today I am going to continue the second part of the significance of positive atheism, which was written by Professor D.D. Bandiste. Gora was of the opinion that God is essentially the creation of a slave mind. Ancient people were ignorant about the happenings around them. They were surrounded by various hostile forces. Naturally, men were scared, timid, and credulous. They urgently needed security and a savior. In such circumstances of total frustration, helplessness, and ignorance, the slavish people posited anthropomorphic duties behind the various phenomena. In the fond hope of getting security from them, the slavish people started laying themselves prostrate before the deities, praying to them and even worshipping them in an attempt to woo them for security, success, and favors. As generations passed, these people came to believe that the deities are the real saviors of men and also that praying to them would set everything right. Faith in the existence and potency of God served the ancient people in many ways. God, although fictitious and created by men themselves, provided them with the final explanation of everything, absolute security in heaven and immortality. If you wanted your wishes to be fulfilled, all that was necessary was to completely surrender to God, have complete faith in Him, and pray to Him. How very silly. The slave mind lacks originality, initiative, and confidence. It rather enjoys in showing to the master as to how utterly nothing, how utterly worthless, and how utterly dependent upon the master it is. A person with slavish mind enjoys remaining a slave and does not wish to be free. He is summum bonum custos in becoming a still greater slave. Once gods were posited, numerous ways of worshipping them came up. They were passed on from one generation to the other in an increasingly enriched fashion. This is how religions were born. Gora found that the essence of religion was man's surrender to God. Slave minds enjoyed inventing the numerous advantages of being a slave. Thy will be done is the fitting description of the theist mentality. The slave mind is in perpetual search of chances of prostrating before its master. As far as gods were concerned, the ancient people forgot that they were human creations, were just imaginary and fictitious. The slave minds rather came to believe that gods are the sole reality and the world false. As a result, the scheme of the real and the unreal gets inverted. What is real becomes false, and what is false becomes real. In their zeal to please their lords, that is gods, the slave minds not only make their own gods and religions supreme, but they also ridicule the gods, religions, beliefs, and customs of the others. As a result, tensions, conflicts, and even wars have become rampant in our life. Holy wars are not viewed with any sense of guilt and shame, but are taken in a sense of pride. How very unfortunate from a rational point of view. Gora wanted people to realize that gods are all fictitious and that cultivation of atheist spirit alone can cure the evils in the world. There are no gods. Man is free and master of his destiny. Man should give up his slave stance and adopt the self-confident stance of the master. Man must note that his wants can be fulfilled not through prayer to non-existent gods, but only through his own intelligent efforts. Anyone can understand that man will develop self-confidence only when he will understand that he is on his own since there is no God. Look at what happens when you believe in a fictitious entity like God. Anyone can claim God's sanction for his own brand of claims. Numerous evils get generated out of this situation of slave mentality and blind faith. He wrote, "The slave mind, contained in theistic faith, abetted inequality. By meek submission, slaves permitted capitalists, autocrats, and aristocrats to ride roughshod and made tyrants of their brothers. Tyranny does not end until slavery is abolished, and slavery does not go until theism is abolished." Struggle for egalitarian society, for social justice, for creating a welfare society becomes meaningful only after atheism is established. Therefore, Gora says that progress of civilization is equivalent to progress of atheism. In theist societies, prayer is the only method of obtaining what you want. But in atheistic society, where science and technology are expected to dominate our life, there is hardly any place for prayer and hardly any chance of worshipping being effective. I have stated that in the beginning of this chapter that Gora's atheism is not limited to only denying God's existence, but it also has a positive dimension. And from here, I shall read out in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Samaram channels, which has crossed more than 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.